Hello and welcome to our third instalment of Transport Fever 2. We're back on the Midwest Mainline. Yes, or the starts of it at the very least. And we're looking at the logging route we built and the beautiful bridge with the river running under it, our version of the Mississippi at least. I promised that I would fast forward time so that we'd have lots of money to play with. However, I had a change of heart, and for a very good reason. It didn't actually take that long to accumulate around about 5 or 6 million, which is what we just invested. So rather than just hide that, I wanted to do a few things as well. There are multiple reasons why I think it's a better idea that we just go ahead and play it, and you get to witness for yourself how long it takes to earn that 6 million back as our other money train heads up the hill towards the logging camp. So should we bring up the UI and just see how much debt we've got? Minus 110k, not a biggie, is it? Not a biggie. We spent literally everything that we borrowed. It's a nice tree there, randomly different to the rest. I do like that though. That's how nature does sometimes. So he's heading off, and you'll see that our logging camp has a lot of logs available to be shipped, and it's going to keep doing that for eternity. So what we need to do is shift as many of these as we possibly can and earn the money from it. At the moment, we're not going to keep up with the logging camp. If we bring this up here, I'd like to say a big thank you to the person in the comments who pointed out this context help. I didn't know what it did, I just left it alone because it was a question mark. But if you've got a window open, such as this factory here, it gives you detailed information about that window. So when you close it and say open a station window, it does nothing. It's supposed to. Hang on, will it do it now? No. Okay, maybe stations don't have one. Let's go up here. Does the train? No. Does the city have a context menu? I guess not all of them. There we go. The city does. Not all of them have context help. But if you open certain windows that need a little bit more explaining, you can read through these and get a little help on what all the numbers mean. So there we go. I thought that was a nice touch, and it was a shame I missed it. Not any longer. Now you can go around and get a little bit of help on what everything means. Now for us, as we start to plummet into debt, until then, this passing loop is causing me a problem. I was correct in thinking that our trains are going to trip over each other here. We look at our lines and how much we're earning, it also shows the frequency. Currently it's 7 minutes 37. If we spend a bit of money, our rate is 153 currently, but look at how much money it's making. We could probably increase this rate and this frequency by spending not much money, by double tracking this bridge. Once you lay the initial bridge down, double tracking it is a little bit cheaper. So it's not like building a second bridge. If we go across, we can see how much it'll cost us by building the second part of the bridge in. As you can see, it's only 77,000. Now I don't know how much actually. I don't know whether it's the same in. There you go, yes. So going across again, there would be 117,000 for a separate bridge. Even if we go on the outside here, I don't think it's much. No, 78,000. That's quite a saving, isn't it? Quite a saving. It's a 30,000 saving. We need to be on this side actually, wouldn't we? Yeah, let's build that while we can afford it. And we're going to do this as well, guys. It's time. Date speed ×1. We're going to get moving because there are some trains I would like to see unlocked before the end of the series, and that's not going to happen if we're forever in 1900. Not that that's a bad thing. Alright, so we've double tracked this section, which means we can go ahead and extend the passing loop a little further. We might as well do it up to the, say, crossing. That kind of works, doesn't it? 50 mile an hour is all our trains can do maximum. That's all we need to do there. We should be able to just go straight over here and recreate it. However, if we quickly pause it, I know, I just played it. But I'd like to do this so our trains don't turn around or something silly. If we do that and then hit play again, not too long, See, our trains are no longer complaining. And we'll add some more signals in. They're not really required at the moment. We only have 2 trains, but this is... Oh yes, stick that on one way. We can change the one we put in. I like to keep all my trains? I like to keep all my signals one way when I'm designing my routes, as that way, later on, you can stick to your guns, as it were, and ensure that nothing trips over. Because sometimes they may decide that your signalling that's 2-way is a handy shortcut, and mayhem ensues sometimes, not all the time. As you can see now, we're already into April of 1900. Here comes our trains. That was perfect timing, wasn't it? They are not going to trip over each other, which is perfect. Whether that will do much for our rate, I don't know. It's going to take him a little while. He shouldn't be slowing down. There's all the money we're spending. Well, he's got a decent amount of money on his wagons. If we go to the finances there, you'll see they make about 1.95 million per year. This we'll have to check on later on, as it takes a little while for the numbers to settle down. There we go, and he doesn't stop. Now, the reason I was bothered about that, not just because of the rates, but when he was stopping here, we know we've got a bit of a climb up to the logging camp. Now, with this train not stopping, he's going to carry some speed up some of the steepest sections, which is, again, going to also increase the rate. So there we go, just a little tweak. It cost us, what, maybe 100,000 rather than adding another train on for close to 6.5 million. But we also don't have the maximum throughput up here. So we're going to do that today. We're going to make sure these money trains are even bigger money trains so that we can start getting rid of this debt that I've put us in. Let's face it, it was my choice to take out a loan. It's a valid way to play. You can play it how you want though. I mean, another, I would say, challenging and kind of exciting way to play it is to pay off your debt as soon as possible by only having, say, a couple of profitable routes. But it's tough to do that. I believe it's also an achievement. Obviously, that changes things, doesn't it? Perhaps you can't pause the date and do that. Who knows? Who knows? We'll have to see. What I would like to do, once that's done a few runs, we're going to head back over to here. And we should maximise the quarry here, our St. Cloud quarry, which apparently is a swimming pool now. Okay, I might have abbreviated that a little bit. It's a little more than a swimming pool, but they do have some diving going on there, and it's a bit of a touristy attraction or a leisure place. For us, it's a working quarry, and we can go down and see the diggers at work there. I do like all the animations that they have going. It brings it all to life, doesn't it? Anyhow, we've got a lot we can do with this. We can push it a little bit further. So what we could do is increase the vehicles on here. Now that we've got time progressing, we'll be able to get the easier trucks, as I like to call them. They're not easier. I mean, they come with their own challenges, as they're mightily expensive to run. However, you won't need as many of them, and they tend to have less emissions. Not a problem out here away from the cities, but we are going to duplicate a couple of these trucks. And I say we could probably just stick a couple on there. What are we on? Stone haulage. Let's add another 2. So if you select 2 and duplicate those, it adds 2 trucks, which should come out the depot. There we go. 2 extra trucks on that line. That should increase the rate for us there. Now that we can afford it. I'm just going to go ahead and maximize this as much as possible, because we're going to get money for shipping it to here regardless of what we do with the bricks. And we're not even close, are we? We're not even close to emptying it there. We'll keep doing that a little bit at a time. We'll throw another one on, why not? Minneapolis haulage, configure the vehicle, and we'll duplicate another one. We've got 16 on there now, which puts our rate up to 176. We were able to do that because we're making money. There you go. Look at our balance. Yes, we've got to pay this extortionate loan. This will start to make a little bit more sense. This is annually figures. So Now that we've got time playing, this should tick along quite nicely, and it will switch to years rather than the date. Nothing else has changed. We're still... And that's how much we spent there. Almost 9.2 million. And then another 7.6 million there. And another almost 3 million there. Goodness me. However, these blue numbers are what I like the looks of. So we're going to need to accumulate some money. How are our bus stops doing? They are doing fine. They're making us money. And we've not got too much of a build-up at our bus stops. One person is nothing to... It might not be one. It might be anything up to 10. We go down here. It's 3 people. You hover over the number there by the little person icon. You'll see where they're going. 2 are going to Locust Street, and 1 is off to Wilson Street to do their daily errands, or maybe head to work. Should we put a bus service in here? It's sort of tempting, isn't it? It's sort of tempting. We could have a bus service running from Minneapolis over to Bloomington. Bloomington's looking a bit empty. Is there a demand? Obviously, we can see some vehicles there trundling along. Everybody's stuck behind horse and carts. I'm sure they're absolutely loving that. We go to the overlay for our destinations. There are 15 people wanting to go between the 2 towns. Another rail route is what we're going to do eventually. However, that's a little bit pricey to start with. I guess what we should really do... Should we do that? Yes, do it. Do it. Because I've seen 2 perfect little places for us to do it. At the end here, and at the end here, if we build them some more roads. Plus, we can afford the initial outlay. If we build a big road going down like that, it's a little bit hilly, isn't it? Absolutely. We can maybe put a bus stop here, or a bus station, I should say, not a bus stop. So if we go to buildings, we can get a passenger station and stick it here, out of town. The reason it's out of town is because our intercity buses, I don't want them milling around in town too much. I want them to pick up passengers from one of our intracity bus services, and they're going to hand them off. They'll make this long, beautiful and scenic journey towards Minneapolis here. Now, Minneapolis, where could we do that? Given that this bus passes by this road here, we could do something kind of handy to pass passengers off from the intercity service. We're going to bring this out here. From the intercity service to the intracity service. And we're going to do something like this and have a pass through. It's early days yet. Do that and then configure this, and we'll add a through road. And then it's kind of like buses in the UK, isn't it, where they pull off to the side there. Sort of, not quite, but close enough. Now, if we go back to road building, we can extend this road round a little bit. Keep it flat, no point going up, because we've got to head down to this road here. And do we want it like that? Like that will do. Ooh, I clicked on the warning sign. Don't do that. Is this a slow road? If this is a slow road, what we could also do is upgrade it to be a little bit faster. And this should be a country road. What do we call it? Small country road, 25 miles an hour. These ones only do 12 miles an hour. I believe our buses already do higher speed than that. So yes, we should change that. These horse and carts, does it tell you how fast they go? No, it doesn't. We could get on board and it will cheekily tell us 8 mile an hour. I think you do more than that, don't you? 9 mile an hour is probably close to the max. Oh no, look at him go. Is that their heads? Oh, that looks wrong, doesn't it? Let's not do that. That made me feel uncomfortable. Okay, so anyway, we've got our intercity bus service. What we need to do though is prepare an area here ready to take passengers up there. So if we get this overlay up, we can decide what sort of bus service we can offer. This seems to be the main residential area, so if we have a couple of buses either side, one can go this way and up into the commerce district and then cut short and head round. One can go that way and head up into the industrial area. We could build them more roads. I was kind of hoping their road layout. Let's just start with going up this way, because you don't have to fulfill all their needs immediately. Like when you click on a person, let's find a person. Let's get down here to the pretty... Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Bookfield Goods. That's amazing. I don't know what's going on. Is that like a market in the back? I've never seen the market. It's a food store with a market in the back. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Oh, okay. You got completely distracted. Let's pick a person, shall we? Now, you could just fulfill like either one of these. Residential, they'll tend to do based on what they're doing with either commercial or industry. So there you go. So we only need one of those. Technically, they could use it to go to work as well as shopping. So let's get this initial bus service. It's mainly to get some people over here. And then hopefully they'll expand a little bit and save us some money and build their own roads. Yes, I want the AI to build their own roads. It's not very often I say that. Right, we're going to be heading this way. And we're going to be picking as many people up. We could technically head the other way, couldn't we? And then have this as heading back, which means we'll be on that side. If we stay on this side, our buses could avoid each other possibly. So let's stick to what I was going to do. We'll go up here and hopefully encourage them to build that way. Right, then we're going up there into the commerce district here. And I guess what we could do for now until we've got more roads to play with is bring them back a little bit through the industrial area. Or go a bit close. It's a bit of a trek around there, isn't it? Maybe we want to go there and close to the centre there. That seems nicely spaced. Right then. Ooh, don't bulldoze the town. Goodness me. Let's get us a new line up. This is, I mean, it is leaning heavily commerce. It's more a loop, though, for the entire city at the moment. We're going to call this, what is this? Bloomington. Bloomington commercial line. There we go. We'll just call it that for now. That's our intentions later on. And then close it. Yes. Why would you do that? Let's colour it blue for commercial. We're going to start here. And we're going to head round this way. Stop up there. Exchange is a rather good name for it. I like that. There we go. 8 stops. Nice and easy. We're obviously going to have a depot over this side as well. Where we place it matters not really. But where's a good place? About halfway. They can decide which way they want to go then. Now, if you're going to min-max... talk about min-maxing. If you really want to min-max this, you would not do this. You'd probably build it closer to your initial stop. And then delete it after you're done. But I like to play a little bit differently, and everybody's welcome to play it however they like. But this is one way you can do it. The way I like, I guess. Let's get us a bus then. We need to return to the Mac. I should leave that joke alone, really. I think only one person giggled remotely at it. Okay, let's get these buses on. How many do we need? We're just going to put 3 on for now and see how that does. Not go overboard. All of them onto the Bloomington commercial line. If we click on here, we can also change the colour to blue. There we go. Don't they look pretty? Off they go. Now, will that encourage people? Not yet, because we've got to do something else, don't we? We can have these buses stop at the exchange here. Minneapolis South, I like it. That's why you know it's south here and then to the north. If you put one up there, it might call it north. Right, we need to configure this line and add this stop to it. So that would be after 2, which is 6th Street. We add another line and it'll insert that in between the 2 stops there. There we go. It does a little turnaround. Maybe if they expand further this way, and our residents or commerce buildings, we might be able to send it around here and then through, and it'll all be pretty. But for now, that's where we're going to do that. We want an express line, we'll call it, like National Express in the UK, to operate intercity bus services. What should we colour this? I think a luminous green, lime green is fine. That's what colour we're going to have these. And this would be, can I remember how to spell Minneapolis, I was going to say, and it's literally right below it. Minneapolis to Bloomington intercity bus. Yep, I've gone crazy with the naming just a little bit. Well, that's probably a bit long, but we'll take it. Maybe we could cut that down a little bit. But for now, it matters not. We'll put a couple of buses, maybe 4 buses on there to start with, and then add to it as need be. You can see there our money's going up. The years are rolling. It's rather nice. You need to start with this though. Can't just throw buses into nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just encourage them to start going. And I want to do it this way to see whether they spread out, whether a couple go that way and a couple go towards Minneapolis. See if it happens. Let's make them lovely lime green. Goodness me. You need sunglasses when they come by. That bridge is horrendous, but at the same time kind of beautiful. Oh, should we turn the big red numbers? There we go. 2 went that way towards Bloomington and 2 went towards Minneapolis. It matters not though. We're all stuck behind horses. Are we stuck behind? We will be. This might stop those people who are currently travelling via horse and cart. Might decide to take our slightly quicker buses. Right, how's our money doing? Everything's okay. We've been spending. If we go to our funds here, we've actually spent quite a bit. $500,000, over $500,000 on new vehicles. We go to table there. Here we go. Investments. No, we've spent $285,000 on vehicles. And you wouldn't think so, would you? Because we are making money. We've still got to sort out that loan, but that will happen. Oh, this looks like it's kicking up production now. That's nice. Our rate for the stone trucks here is 186. They're not going to be quite as profitable as a train. I mean, it's a short distance, but it's going to work for us later on, I think. We could put a train here. My plan here, we could have like a little shunting service, taking it backwards and forwards, as this is where our freight station is going to be. But eventually, we'll take stuff up to Grand Rapids, and bring stuff back from Grand Rapids in the tools department and drop it off to Minneapolis. That's our plan. I know it feels like we've not done a lot, but do you know, it's really tempting. It's super tempting to take more loans out. I know. We're managing it though, right? We're absolutely managing it. Our profit now, compared to, yeah, look at that, 1.3 nearly, 1.3 million profit, and that includes purchasing nearly $500,000 in vehicles and roads and infrastructure. So we could more than cope with a bigger interest payment. Not the best way to do it, but expansion might be key. My idea is, how much we got here? Yeah, we're not even going to touch the sides of that yet, are we? You have got, we're half. Maybe we could double head these. That's going to be kind of expensive. It's tempting though, isn't it? Can we flip you around? I would like you to go to the depot. We're not going to sell it. We're going to add to this train. Right, so let's fast forward a little bit to get him up to the depot. And when there is our passenger train, we'll be making use of him once we can afford it. Technically, we can almost afford it now. We're going to bring him in. And come on, in you come. Are you in? Yeah. We'll select this. How do we do this? Oh, there we go. Edit vehicle. Now he's in. I'm thinking we add a train here. Bring it. Can we drag it? No, you can't drag it. Okay, we're going to click the arrows. Take him to the front with the other one. And we're going to double the capacity. So it's going to be a beefy train. So far it's going to cost us 2 million. We'll go to the... Oh, it's been pointed out. This is possibly not called a gondola. I would agree. That's possibly not the name. That might be a typo. Because a gondola is these things that carry grain and coal and stuff. So yes, possibly not that. What do we need? We don't need boxcars. Put the right one on. We need to double that, don't we? They currently have 8 on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's right, because it's going to cost us 6.5 million. Let's borrow enough to do that. I know. Grand, leave the borrow button alone. No, spend money to make money. That's what we're doing. Right, quickly. Do that. Do this. And get that on and get you back on that line. There we go. Hopefully, he's not on his way round yet. Where is he? He's only there. That's fine. So that's going to make quite literally double the money for us, because all we've done is double the train and put it together. Why have I done it like that? I don't want, in the future, I don't want too many trains running the main line. So putting them together like this, it's like gluing two trains together. Yeah. I mean, if we put it at the back, it literally would be. We could separate them, but it's more of a train. He does look good. I like that. So he's going to cost us a little bit, but he is going to pick up, what's the capacity? 192 logs, which is going to be a nice big fat paycheck for us once he gets down the hill. And then up around there. That's over there. That's unbelievable, the distance, isn't it? It amazes me just how big, once you're down to this sort of level, how big a small map really is. And it takes them a long time to get over there. So he's going to pick up those. Just that one delay where we shifted him into the depot and back out again. And you can already see there are a lot of logs waiting for us. They're going to keep doing it too. He should wait patiently down here. If he doesn't, we're in a bit of bother. So then, he's approaching the signal. My plan now is we're going to let time continue all the way for the rest of the series. I'm not going to fast forward it in between episodes because I don't think it's needed. It actually makes money faster than I gave it credit for. And obviously, the more we expand the network, the more money we're going to make. At the moment, we're maximizing. We're trying to make as much money as possible from our existing lines while time ticks away. We go into our accounts now. Where's the chart? There we go. We just spent another 8.8 million. Like, Grand, please start paying off your debt. Yeah, how much is our loan? I'm a little bit worried. Look at this. Oh dear. Oh dear. Finances. How much is our loan? Does it... Well, you won't find out there, will you? Will it show us here? Table? There we go. Back in here. Our loan, 19 million, guys. Although, what I will say is we can actually borrow, I believe, 30 million. We're not going to, though. We're not going to. We're going to start paying it off. What we need is for this big boy to come around the track here. Is he full? Yes. It's going to take him a while to get up to speed. We could possibly fast forward it too. So what do we need to do? We need to make some money, don't we? So we're going to watch him make us some money. I hope. Do I have the thingy turned on where we can see income? Yes. Let's go and watch the healthy blue number show up once we get up here. This bit of track here is quite a struggle for these old trains. They're not packing the most amount of power and tractive effort to get up hills. But you'll see his speed drops as he gets up here. We could actually take a trip up there because it's kind of nice. Let's put it on normal speed as we head up the hill. Or if I don't know, I might have made it okay. We've already dropped off. Yeah, no, there it goes. The speed is dropping. We are running a full load and we are carrying 16 wagon loads of logs, which are heavy, aren't they? As long as we don't scrub off too much speed, I think this will do us until we get the bigger and better engines. Now that the date is running along quite nicely, we are going to unlock some beefy trains that are going to make mincemeat of these. So what's the slowest speed we go down to? 39 miles an hour. I'll absolutely take that. That's beautiful, isn't it? Now, do we fit on this? Do we fit on the station? I think let's eyeball it. No, I think we might struggle. It doesn't matter though. There is no switch after it. You don't have to fit on the station, but we will extend that when we've got the money. How much is this train gonna make us? Oh, we just won the lottery. Look at that. It's beautiful. There we go. We're all of a sudden we could do this now, couldn't we? Let's configure the station. We're going to add an extra bit of track here, and then we're going to add another platform. Not really necessary. He's moving into it. I like that. You've kind of done some weird stuff with your wagons there, but it's fine. Right, I think he'll be okay. Maybe one more? No, we'll stick with that. That'll do. It's just a little bit better, isn't it? It'll help if we need to double track it later, which we will do, obviously, because we're going to be taking these finished planks up to our toolworks there, which will give us a little bit more money. It's going to be tricky to get up there. If we take a look at the, this bit here, it doesn't look much, but that's a tunnel. It's either a tunnel or a lot of gradient, and our early trains are going to really struggle with that. However, later on, much later on in the years, we could maybe invest in something like that to cut off most of the journey. Although, what was my rule? Yeah, we're going to try and make everything hit the main line at least once. So doing that is a bit is breaking my own rules, isn't it? Yes. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, let's make sure everything touches the main line at least once, and we'll try and limit it to 4 tracks unless it's a major junction. But the main line should be 4 tracks. Where's our other train? See, this one's going to come down. I'd like to do the same with this, but possibly not yet. Are we making money? Good money. This one won't make money for a while. It is absolutely jam-packed though. We can maybe squeeze a few more buses on there. They're liking their little bus service. Oh, it's chock-a-block. They're liking that, aren't they? Let's get a few more on there. Do we have one up here? I would love to put some more on here. Should we just straight up double that? However, I say that when you get the initial rush, this builds up rather quickly. So we don't really want to throw too many vehicles on there. We've got to pay for them. Let's do 2. Maybe we'll have one head that way and one head that way. You see, we're still going to be stuck behind horse and carts here. Look at that. Look at them all. Look at them all enjoying our lovely bus service. Look at you all. Oh, you're drivey. That was interesting. Now, we didn't put this bridge in. It came with the game. You're barely getting up the hill because we're stuck behind Alexandra Kelly. Come on, get your horse up there. Poor thing. Things, there's 2 of them. It's a good job there is. I don't think we'd get up there otherwise. We could even get in here. This is what it's like stuck in traffic. That car's nice. Like your car. You can see, look ahead. You can see the horses' heads nodding backwards and forwards. Oh, I'm easily amused. That view. And distracted. There's our bus. That's great. I could spend, and do spend, most of my time doing this. And before you know it, I end up with a lot. Ooh, where are we? We're under the bridge. Like that. Okay, get out. Get out from under the bridge. You troll. Right, get over here. How are we doing? I think we're in a good place. This will start making... You've clicked the line. You want this line. Oh, there we go. Our first pay packets have come in from this line. There they go. How much are you're going to make? A decent amount. Obviously not as much as a train's going to make us, but it's going to be a pleasant income, and it will be an income. What this is doing now, this is where we're going to have to change things. If we click on here, you'll see that we're shifting people there, but they're then also shifting people back. And I don't even... Just one of those, right? Just one of those buses has made it so far. 2 buses. Okay, we might be okay with our... What is it? There'll be the commerce line. He's going to pick these up. What do we hold on here? 9. So that will clear the bus stop. What is the rate for our bus service? I never checked. I kind of just looked at it. 54. And what is the rate of the Minneapolis? We could balance these. We need a couple more buses on there, and then that should balance it quite nicely. Let's put a couple more on. Like so. I mean, it's a massive distance, and they move very slow. They're a bit bunched up at the moment because they're getting stuck behind traffic. But let's see what that's done for the numbers. What are the scores? On the doors, 72. Look at that. Beautiful. That about lines it all up, doesn't it? We'll leave it like so. Now, how's our money? We're getting dangerously low. It matters not. It will start paying off, I promise. We won't be left in eternal debt. Okay, that's balanced out quite nicely. I think that's as much as we need to do on there. What we can do, if we've oversaturated the line, we can just sell one. It's not going to be a big deal. This is doing okay. 2 of our buses came from this depot. There you go. They're like, well, starting here might be cool because there's loads of people. Let's go over to Bloomington. How are you doing over here? Yeah, this is going to balance out, I think. This is going to balance out. What I'd like to do in the next episode is take a little look. It takes time. Just bear that in mind. It takes time for the little sims around your cities to change their minds, as it were, if you tempt them onto public transport. They won't do it overnight. Well, they might. Some of them. They just might be that eager. But as a rule, it does take a little while for it to filter through. It's like putting an ad in the paper or on the radio. We're just going story time, aren't we? Okay, how's our trains doing? We just had a payment here. That's why we're steadying out on our funds. We don't need to see that down there. So yeah, that's increased our throughput by quite a bit. Our money is going to start skyrocketing. In fact, I would like to begin our repayments, guys. There we go, 1.5 million. We're already knocking it down. If we pay off another 1.5 million when the big pay train comes through, there he is over there, we'll be back to the original loan that we made last episode. So we've nearly paid off this loan that we took out today in an episode. That's good going. Admittedly, we've not expanded much. Early on, it's a good idea, or what I like to do is watch how everything reacts together, and just keep an eye on things and get things settled. So then when you expand, you've already got everything running quite smoothly, or near as. Or in my case, you're in lots of debt, but that's not going to last long, is it? We're already going to pay that off. I fully expect to get below 10 million, which is our starting loan, just after a few journeys. I guess towards the end of here, we're not even to 1904. If we fast forward this is going to give us a healthy paycheck and allow us, because it would be great to not be further in debt this episode. You see the point at which they pass has changed slightly. That's because we took him back into there. They will sort themselves out, but also this train takes longer to load and unload than this one. The game should try and keep them spaced evenly. Words. It's because I saw that big red number down there. It made me panic a little bit. But that is going to vanish because our big train is coming into the station. And it's going to make us... Ooh, look at that, nearly 1 million in debt. And they're not. Yes, there we go. So what we can do now is repay 1.5 million. And we are no longer in debt from this episode. We've still got to pay off the balance that we took out on episode 2. But we're in a good place. This line here is going to start making us money as well, which is money we didn't have before. You clicked on the wrong one again. Let's go to the line manager. How are you doing now? 73. You're up to 66.2k a year. I think this is the yearly balance. Could we bring up the contextual help? Rate measures the number of goods and passengers a line can transport per year. There you go. So I'm guessing balance is the current annual profit and loss. So this is your yearly profit and loss. I love this. Can context help? Should we leave it there? I think that's a good place to leave it, isn't it? We've got a lot going. Should we go and see our little town over here? I love these trees in the gardens. I love them. It's beautiful. There goes our bus service. How many people? 25. Do you know what we're not checked on, really? Is how many Minneapolis's growth is not doing. Yes, it's shrinking. Why is that? This fluctuates here. This will fluctuate. We might need to add more on there. No, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We may need to check, let's just go in here, whether the industrial areas have shifted maybe. Let's bring this up. I prefer this overlay because it doesn't do the white and then you can see it clearly. Oh, clearly. You see here, we're missing one. I guess if we click on that, you're not being serviced at all. Yes, we're missing construction materials right there. That's not good. We're going to have to start shifting our drop-off point across. Let's do that now. Let's think about doing that now. Where would be a good place then? We need to click on the right one. You need to put this somewhere where it's going to hit every single brick, which would be here, wouldn't it? Absolutely. I think that hits everything. It would be nice to kind of shift it towards one end of town. So if we put it there, perhaps we can pause it a second. Be a nice little fix before the end of the episode. If we delete this one, it should move it over to, you've done it again, move it over to that one. Please add that line and don't mess up all the deliveries. There we go. Do you go there now? Perfect. In fact, couldn't we send that the other side of the road? Wouldn't that be better? You plonker, you put it on the wrong side of the road. We can fix it. Put it on there, like so. Now what's it doing? There we go, beautiful. In fact, we can get rid of this one. Done. That may or may not have ruined our... Nope, we're good. You flip round. Oh, some of you may have noticed, they've pointed out in the comments, there's a little glitch, and I think it's to do with LOD there. The animation for the bricks doesn't quite go with the truck. If you zoom in, though, I don't think it does it. We'll see. We'll see. There's going to be little quirks like that in pre-release versions. I think they do it right when you zoomed in. Not a big deal, not game breaking. Our buses have more people waiting out here. Should we sit somewhere and end this? Otherwise, you're just going to keep playing for eternity. Which I would love to do. That's a nice view over there. Look at how busy it is. 20 people. We might need to throw another bus on there. Do it. Add another bus. No, because we got it balanced nicely. Okay, guys, that has been episode 3, I believe. When we come back, what I intend to do is use our income from our existing lines to double up the other logging train that we have running, and then during that episode, I'm hoping, this is a big challenge, I'm hoping to be debt free. That's the plan, using our lines. So we're going to expand slightly, or quite a bit actually, and then go debt free. How does that sound to everybody? And then it's a case of spending all the money we make on those lines to, I would say, put in our first passenger line. We'll see how quickly all that happens, and remember, the date is ticking by now, so we'll get to see some new trains and cars and trucks, maybe boats and planes too, who knows. But thanks for watching, and until then, take care.